君についてこられても困るんだよ。
そんなこと言ったって。
Suzume unfolds as a deeply emotional and visually mesmerizing journey that blends fantasy, adventure, and introspection into a story that feels both personal and universal at the same time. It begins with a quiet sense of curiosity, introducing a young girl whose life seems ordinary on the surface but carries an unspoken emotional weight beneath it. There is a feeling from the very start that something larger is waiting just beyond her everyday world, something that will challenge her understanding of reality and her place within it. This subtle beginning creates a sense of anticipation, gently pulling the audience into a narrative that gradually expands in scale and intensity. At the center of the story is Suzume, a character defined not just by her actions but by her emotional journey. She is portrayed as someone navigating the space between childhood and maturity, carrying within her both innocence and a quiet resilience. Her life takes a sudden and unexpected turn when she encounters a mysterious presence that introduces her to a hidden layer of reality. This encounter acts as a doorway, both literally and symbolically, marking the beginning of a journey that will take her far beyond anything she has ever known. From that moment on, her path is no longer confined to the familiar, and she is drawn into a series of events that challenge her courage, understanding, and sense of responsibility. One of the most striking aspects of the narrative is its use of doors as a central motif. These doors are not just physical objects but representations of transition, memory, and the unseen forces that connect different parts of the world. Each door leads to something unknown, often tied to a deeper emotional or historical significance. As Suzume becomes involved in closing these doors, the story begins to explore themes of balance and consequence, suggesting that the world exists in a delicate state where unseen disruptions can have profound effects. This concept adds a layer of depth to the narrative, turning what might seem like a simple adventure into a meditation on connection and responsibility. As Suzume travels from one place to another, the journey itself becomes an essential part of the storytelling. Each location she visits feels distinct, filled with its own atmosphere and emotional resonance. The changing landscapes reflect her internal growth, mirroring the shifts in her perspective and understanding. This movement creates a sense of progression that is both physical and emotional, allowing the audience to experience the story as a continuous unfolding rather than a series of disconnected events. The journey is not just about reaching a destination, but about the transformation that occurs along the way. Alongside Suzume, other characters enter the narrative, each bringing their own presence and influence. These individuals are not merely companions but reflections of different aspects of the story's themes. Some provide guidance, others introduce conflict, and a few serve as reminders of the emotional stakes involved. The interactions between characters are handled with subtlety, allowing relationships to develop naturally rather than forcing them into predefined roles. This approach adds authenticity to the story, making the connections feel meaningful and grounded despite the fantastical elements. A particularly compelling dynamic emerges through Suzume's relationship with a figure who embodies both mystery and vulnerability. This connection introduces a unique blend of tension and warmth as the two navigate their circumstances together. Their interactions are filled with moments that range from lighthearted to deeply emotional, creating a balance that keeps the narrative engaging. Through this relationship, the story explores ideas of trust, dependence, and the ways in which people can influence each other's growth. It becomes clear that Suzume's journey is not one she can undertake alone, and the presence of others plays a crucial role in shaping her path. The tone of the film shifts seamlessly between moments of wonder and moments of introspection. There are scenes filled with vibrant energy and visual spectacle, where the magical elements of the story take center stage. These moments capture the imagination, drawing the audience into a world that feels both expansive and alive. At the same time, there are quieter scenes that focus on emotion and reflection, allowing the story to breathe and giving space for the characters' inner experiences to come forward. This balance ensures that the narrative remains dynamic while still maintaining a strong emotional core. Visually, the film stands out as a remarkable achievement. using color, light, and composition to enhance the storytelling. The environments are crafted with a level of detail that makes each setting feel tangible, even when it exists within a fantastical context. The contrast between the ordinary and the extraordinary is handled with care, allowing the magical elements to feel like natural extensions of the world rather than separate from it. This visual harmony reinforces the themes of connection and coexistence, suggesting that the extraordinary is always present. Even within the familiar. As the story progresses, a deeper layer of meaning begins to emerge, centered around the idea of memory and the impact of the past. The narrative hints at events that have shaped not only Suzume's life but also the world around her. These elements are woven into the story in a way that feels organic, gradually revealing themselves without overwhelming the main narrative. The exploration of memory adds emotional weight, transforming the journey into something that is not just about the present, but also about understanding and reconciling with what has come before. The sense of urgency increases as the consequences of leaving the doors open become more apparent. The stakes are no longer abstract but immediate, affecting both the characters and the world they inhabit. This escalation brings a heightened level of tension, pushing Suzume to confront challenges that test her resolve. The progression from curiosity to responsibility is handled with care, showing how her character evolves in response to the situations she faces. By the time the narrative approaches its climax, it is clear that she has undergone a significant transformation. Shaped by both her experiences and the choices she has made, the climax brings together the various threads of the story, creating a moment that is both visually striking and emotionally powerful. It is a point where the external conflict and internal journey intersect, forcing Suzume to confront not only the immediate challenge, but also the deeper emotions that have been building throughout the narrative. This convergence adds a sense of completeness, making the resolution feel earned rather than imposed. The choices made in this moment reflect the themes of connection, responsibility, and growth that have been present from the beginning. In its resolution, the story takes a reflective approach, focusing on the aftermath of the journey rather than simply concluding the conflict. There is a sense of calm that follows the intensity, allowing both the characters and the audience to process what has occurred. This quieter ending reinforces the idea that growth is an ongoing process, and that the impact of the journey extends beyond the immediate events. Suzume is no longer the same person she was at the beginning, and this change is presented not as a final state but as part of a continuous evolution. Another important aspect of the film is its ability to blend personal and universal themes. While the story is centered on Suzume's individual journey, the ideas it explores resonate on a broader level. Concepts such as loss, healing, connection, and the passage of time are presented in a way that feels accessible and meaningful. This universality is one of the reasons the film leaves a lasting impression, as it allows different viewers to find their own interpretations within the narrative. The pacing of the film contributes significantly to its impact, allowing moments to unfold at a natural rhythm. There is a careful balance between movement and stillness, ensuring that the story never feels rushed or stagnant. Each scene serves a purpose, either advancing the plot or deepening the emotional connection. This deliberate pacing creates a sense of immersion, drawing the audience fully into the world and the experiences of the characters. In terms of character development, Suzume's growth is portrayed with subtlety and depth. Her transformation is not defined by a single moment but by a series of experiences that gradually shape her perspective. This approach makes her journey feel authentic, as it mirrors the way real growth often occurs over time. By the end of the story, she embodies a sense of strength and understanding that feels earned, reflecting the challenges she has faced and the lessons she has learned. Overall, Suzume presents a rich and layered narrative that combines fantasy and emotion in a way that feels both imaginative and grounded. It offers a story that is visually captivating while also providing meaningful insights into the human experience. Through its exploration of connection, responsibility, and personal growth, it creates an experience that resonates beyond its runtime. leaving a lasting impression that continues to unfold even after the story has ended. Suzume unfolds as a deeply emotional and visually mesmerizing journey that blends fantasy, adventure, and introspection into a story that feels both personal and universal at the same time. It begins with a quiet sense of curiosity, introducing a young girl whose life seems ordinary on the surface but carries an unspoken emotional weight beneath it. There is a feeling from the very start that something larger is waiting just beyond her everyday world.